sorry we couldn't get you inside, but we want to welcome you all to Sandy Springs. I see an awful lot of faces I already know. I want you to welcome the person that a lot of us hope will be the next President of the United States, Governor John Kasich.
Why are you here? I don't understand this.
Louder.
I'll tell you what, it's just so good to see you all, and I'm trying to figure out what you're all looking for.
Can't hear you.
I think what you're looking for is you're looking for hope again, isn't it? Is that what it is? What are you looking for? I'm trying to figure it out. That our country can be shined up again. And look, we got a really good country. We got challenges, okay? We've got job insecurity. We don't have rising wages. We're worried about our kids' college education and can they get a job and can they pay off their debt? And can we balance a budget? And can we cut taxes? And can we fix Social Security and control our border? I got all that. But you know, I want to tell you, because I can't be here forever. I'd love to be here forever, but I got to go somewhere else. You understand, I would like you to think about this and consider this. Where I grew up, my father, he carried mail on his back. And my mother, she had a mother that could barely speak English. We never waited in that little blue-collar town that I grew up in. We never, ever waited for somebody to show up and fix our problems. We figure we fix our problems. Politics. People get on these boards of education, and some of the time they just go to sleep. And they want to be popular, and they want to be elected and re-elected. Okay? I mean, look, we got to get people to run for the school board who say, I'm going to put the kids first, and I'm going to shake up the system so my kids can get the skills they need to have a good education and a great life. And we look at the problems in our neighborhood of drugs. Now, we've got great police, great law enforcement, and they can deal with a lot of it. But beating the war on drugs is just not going to come from somebody coming in galloping on a horse. It's going to come from us. When we explain to young people that they have a purpose in their life, that their life's about making the world a much better place, and that if you take drugs and you destroy your life, then you can't carry out one of my goals to change the world. Whenever I die and they give a eulogy about my life, I'd like at least 80% of it to be true. And so many of the things that we do in our lives are small business people, the nurses who operate in the hospital in the dead of night with the families who live on the edge, who are living on the edge of their chair, worried about their loved ones. Or the doctor that makes a phone call at 11:30 at night to a family that's just waiting for the news on that test. Or for somebody, a lady came up to me yesterday in Virginia. She has a son who's an adult, he's autistic, she's worried about him. She has a 16-year-old daughter who has mental illness. She says, I haven't had a date with my husband in a year because we can't find anybody to come to our home and take care of our family while we have a date. Anybody want to volunteer to do that here? Anybody want to do something special for somebody else and help them out? And that's the way we have to think about what we need to do to fix our country. We're never going to fix it from the top down. We fix it from the bottom up. And I must admit to you, that we haven't had good leadership. We've not had leadership at the top that puts the people first, that puts solving problems first, despite the political difficulties. We've had too many people at the top who are catering to special interests, too many people at the top who are putting their own futures first. You see, it's not that hard to balance a budget. It really isn't. It just takes will. And all it takes is a commitment and a purpose. We did it in the 90s. You know, when your friend, Newt Gingrich, became the speaker, in the blink of an eye, we forgot politics and we balanced the federal budget and we created job growth in America. My mother worked the welfare system. Whoever had any power said, Johnny, stick up for people. Fight for the right thing. Make the world a better place for the fact that you were there. So I'll do my job in Washington. Oh, we'll get common sense regulations. We're going to cut taxes for businesses and individuals. We're going to get on the road to a balanced budget. I will have a plan to save Social Security. We'll get the border fixed. We'll rebuild the military. I'll fly around the world and talk to leaders about the fact that America's back. And then I'm going to get the phone numbers of all the mothers and fathers who have people, their kids, working in Congress. And I'm going to call mom on her birthday, and she's going to call her son or daughter who are in Congress and say, I like that president. Don't give him a hard way to go. And then if we get stuck, we're going to do what Reagan did. We're going to march. We're going to march to get this country back up with some conditions that are going to give everybody a chance. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely believe that the good Lord has made all of us special. You know that, kid? You know you're special. There's nobody else in the entire world that's like you. No one who's ever been here before, or no one who's going to come after you. You know that? Okay, that's a good answer, kid. Kid saying yes, sir, we'll be in good shape. Here's the thing I want you to know. Maybe you don't agree with me on this, and that's okay too. I think we're here on this earth to make this earth a better place, to be a center of healing, a center of justice in a world that oftentimes doesn't look that way. A world that oftentimes will step on people who are weak or widowed or infirmed. That's not who we are. That's not why we're here. And so what I want you to think about, even for those who are older, who may never have thought this before, reach into your hearts. Reach deeply into your hearts and into your brain and figure out what you are supposed to do to live a life bigger than yourself. I'm here on this platform in this crazy campaign, standing outside of a bus with all of you gathered here, which I can't even understand. But here's what I know. I know I'm doing my best. As I told my wife today in the back of the bus, I told my wife, I'm following the purpose that I think has been laid out for me. And I want you to know that to achieve this goal, and I'm not sure exactly what the goal is. Some might say it's to be elected president. Maybe it's a different goal. Maybe it's raising the bar and giving people a sense that the world can be a better place, that we can be positive, that we can have solutions. Maybe that's enough. But what I know is this. I'm not getting down in the dirt. I'm going to stay on the up, and I'm going to be positive.